Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy and this is Thrift Adventure. Today I'll be doing a ship with me video. In these videos, I go day to day and I talk about the different items that I'm shipping out. I talk about how much they sold for, what I paid for them, and what my profit is. So you want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because I always have interesting and unique items, and hopefully you can learn something, some different things to keep your eyes out for when you're out thrifting and at estate sales and yard sales. So let's get started. I had a pretty great weekend. I am excited because last week and the week before were quite slow. So I really needed things to turn around and make some money. So the first item sold on Chairish.com, which is Chairish. And it is a heavy brass vintage lion head door knocker. And it's just the door knocker. There's no hardware or anything. I picked this up just because I thought it was cool. It's very heavy, so it seemed like great quality. And this ended up selling for $200 plus a $5 packaging fee. The packaging fee is in addition to the shipping fee, and the buyer pays all of it. So the total price was $205 that this sold for. I'm super excited. This had been sitting on a shelf in my death pile for a really long time, and I finally got it listed. I did do a little research. I didn't realize that these could be worth so much, but if you look at sold comps on eBay, there are sales in the $200 range. So super excited about that sale because I only paid $6 for that. Chairish charges a 22% seller's fee. So after their fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $155. That is an excellent profit as far as I'm concerned. I thought I would read you the title that I used for this listing: Vintage Solid Brass Lion Head Door Knocker. Pretty basic, I guess, but it did the trick. I think this took about 2 or 3 months to sell once I got it listed. So that is a really awesome sale. And I had another sale on Chairish, which is also really exciting because I didn't have any sales last week, and I think it had been maybe only one sale the week before. So I'm happy to have some sales on Chairish because my sales are always higher dollar amounts over there and great profits. So this is a really interesting pottery piece. And it has quails. It's kind of an open style, so you could put like maybe a votive in there. I just picked it up because I thought it was really interesting and I'd never seen anything like it before. It is signed, but I could not make out the artist's name. And what was I going to say about this? Oh, I wanted to pick it up on the first day of the estate sale, but I think they had it priced at $8 or $12, which was a little bit more that I wanted to spend. Yeah, $8. So I went back on half price day and, or discount day. Actually, on this, it was the second day and she made me some deals. I only paid $2 for this. So it ended up selling for $74. I had it listed for $69 plus a $5 packaging fee, and it sold for full price. So after Chairish's fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $56.82. Another great profit. I forgot to mention that I did have this piece listed for $329, which was kind of wishful thinking or aggressive pricing. And the buyer offered me $200. I just decided to go ahead and take it because, like I said, I looked up sold comps and that was an appropriate range for something like this. Okay, and for the piece of pottery, for my title, I said Vintage Studio Pottery Quail Bird Motif Weed Pot Votive Holder Signed. So I think that I think I'm getting this right, but a weed pot has this kind of squatty shape and then usually a smaller mouth at the top. So that's why I used that keyword. I'm not sure if it's totally appropriate or not, but just a really interesting piece. I'm going to move these out of the way and package them up later so I don't break them. I'm very relieved to have those two Chairish sales it has just been kind of quiet for me lately, and I've been pretty disappointed. But all in all, I'm happy with this weekend sales. So the next item sold on Chairish, and the first item is this really fun hand beaded, I'm relatively certain it's hand beaded based on the stitching there, black leather belt. And I just picked this up at the Goodwill. I just thought it was a really interesting piece, and someone had moved it into a different area, so it wasn't with the regular belts. And I was just wandering around and I saw it hanging at the end of one of the clothing racks. So this ended up selling for $34. I had hoped to get, or I think it might be, I felt like it was worth a little bit more than that. But I did send out 30% off offers to likers with discounted shipping on everything in my closet last week, trying to get more sales. And so this buyer got that 30% off offer, and then they accepted the offer on Saturday afternoon. So I only paid $3 for this though. So I am happy with that sale price. This did have discounted shipping. So after Posh fees, my cost of goods, that made my profit $22.18. Still a nice little profit. And for those of you who are new here, you will see that I absolutely love buying and selling belts. And a lot of my viewers and subscribers say that they have started buying and selling belts, and they love it too. So if you haven't tried out belts before, I would highly recommend it. Okay, so the next, let's see, let's get these in the right order. The next item that sold is just a pair of Nike tennis shoes. I picked these up because I liked the color combo, and they had kind of a retro feel to them. They were also in, really great condition, hardly any tread wear, just a couple little marks, typical with a pre-owned item. These didn't sell super quickly for me, but I did have them priced a little higher. I think this was also an item that the buyer got the 30% off offer with discounted shipping. So these sold for $45. I think maybe I had them listed at $69 or something like that. But they had been listed for a few months. So I am happy that they sold. I still am making a nice little profit on these. I did pay $12. A lot of times my Goodwill prices, you know, Nike or nicer shoes at $12.99. So these were $12.99, but I had a 10% off coupon. So that brought them down to a little under $12. Still great. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $21.98. So I do pick up, you know, Nike and activewear shoes if the price is right. They aren't always huge profits for me just because I have to pay up for them a little bit. But that particular day when I was there, someone had donated, I think 4 or 5 pairs of their Nike shoes, and they all had this like cool, unique coloring or retro styling. And so I just decided to pick them all up. And although it did take a little while for them to sell, I have made a nice profit on all of them. So the next sale is a pretty fun sale. This is a vintage nightie, nightgown, and then the little, I think they call it a bed jacket robe. And this is probably from the 1950s or 1960s. I have so much fun when I pick up these vintage items like this. Look at all of that great detail. Just so cute. This is kind of a baby doll style. I think I'm gonna probably fold this up and package up off camera. But here is the little jacket. Isn't that just adorable? Really looks like something Mrs. Maisel would wear. Did I already mention this sold for $85? I am thrilled with that. Sometimes when you find these more special, you know, nightgowns or sets, they can sell for higher amounts. Typically, they do not sell quickly for me for high amounts though. So I think I had this originally listed at $129 and then I had reduced it and this buyer offered me $85. So I think that is a great price considering I paid $3 a piece for these. So I paid a total of $6. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $62. So another really great profit. And actually, over the weekend, I sold more than I sold all of last week. I made more profit and more dollar amount in sales. So, whew, that makes me happy. I'm just, I get nervous when I have too many, a couple of weeks in a row with slow sales. Okay, so there will be a couple more clips after this because like I said, I go day to day. If you're enjoying my videos, if you like these types of videos, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. It's totally free and it really helps me out. It encourages me and it tells YouTube that people are enjoying my channel. So they suggest, my videos to other people, which helps my channel grow. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, those things really help me out as well. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a couple of days to share what else I sell. I'll see you then. Hey there, it's a couple days later and I've got a few more things to ship out, so let's get started. The first item is this just very basic brown leather belt. As you can see, it even has some distressing and wear marks. I hadn't in the past just picked up these basic, brown and black leather belts, or as eagerly. I hadn't picked them up, but they have been, the ones that I have picked up have been selling pretty quickly and for pretty great amounts. So I think that I am going to even pick up these basic belts now when I can find them for very affordable prices. So I got this one at an estate sale for $1. And I think that's kind of in the realm, $1 or $2 is what I'm going to want to pay for these. This one sold for $26 with discounted shipping. I think that is really great for a basic brown leather belt. Like I said, I paid $1 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $17.78. I don't think this took a really long time to sell either. I don't remember when I listed it, but it was kind of in the middle of my belt bin. So it had not been listed terribly long, maybe a month or two. The next item that sold is a pretty exciting sale. It is this pair of semi-vintage Tommy Hilfiger overalls, and they have the kind of iconic red, white, and blue logo on them, and then the spell out straps. I picked these up at a fill the bag sale quite some time ago, and I hadn't listed them because one of the straps here, something's out of whack, and so it doesn't adjust like it normally would. And I was going to try and fix it, and then I just never did. I'm sure it's an easy fix, and I just couldn't wrap my head around how to do it. But anyways, I went ahead and listed them as they were, and I noted that in the description. And I listed them for $129 because I saw some really great comps on these, and someone offered me $90. So I excitedly accepted that. Like I said, I picked these up at a fill the bag sale, so I paid less than $1 for them. They did take a little while to sell, probably 3 or 4 months. But for a $90 sale, I'm not going to complain about that. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $71. I am absolutely thrilled with that. And I don't always pick up Tommy Hilfiger stuff unless it is, you know, a more unique piece like this. Overalls, of course, are pretty trendy right now. And then this really had that 90s Y2K look with the spell out and all of the branding on it. So that's the other reason that I thought these would be a good item to pick up. Plus, they were less than $1, so you really can't say no to that. Okay, the next item that sold is this pair of vintage St. John Santana knit kind of legging pants. I lint rolled these, but somehow they got some of my hair on them. So I always pick up these St. John pieces. The tag is clipped on these, but if they are this Santana knit, and it's wool blended with something else. I can't remember what it is, but it is one of their most popular lines. And I do especially well with skirts in the Santana knit, the long skirts. But if it's the right price, I will always pick up St. John because it has a very high retail value and inevitably it will end up selling. These sold for $42. They probably cost close to $300 new, but St. John doesn't really hold a ton of its retail value, but people are still looking for it and buying it. I paid $3 for these. I think these sold for $42 with discounted shipping. I can't remember for sure, but after Posh fees, my cost of goods, and any shipping discounts, that made my profit $30.60. I think that's a nice little profit. I don't think these were listed a super long time, 2 or 3 months. They had been sitting in a pile or a bag that I had at home, and for some reason I just never brought it to the shop and got them listed, but I finally did. So, and then they sold relatively quickly. Okay, well that's it for today, but there will be at least one more clip in this video. Hopefully I have some other exciting sales. Some more Chairish sales would be great because I always have high profits on those. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a couple of days. Hey there, it's a couple days later and I have a couple more things to ship out. Turned out to be another pretty slow week, but it was better than last week, so I'm going to be happy about that. The first item that sold is a belt, no big surprise. This was only listed a day or two. I've come across a lot of these kind of woven braided leather belts, but none of them in this skinny size like this. And this did have some distressing and color variation. I don't know if you can see that. But it was in an estate sale for $1, so whenever I see belts for $1, I will pretty much pick them up unless they're completely destroyed. So people do still like the distressed look, so I would recommend pick those items up if they are affordable. I picked up a pretty beat up brown leather bomber jacket this morning at a yard sale for $1, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll see that I have had success with you know, kind of distressed leather pieces. This belt sold for $35. That's also a really great price in my opinion for, you know, kind of a worn belt, but never ceases to amaze me that people will still buy these distressed pieces. So like I said, I paid $1, so after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $24.98. And it has been, I think, less than a week since I bought that, only a day or two that it was listed, and it's being shipped out now. So I think that is really great. The next item that sold is this pretty unique pair of vintage earrings, and they are faux opal and pearl, and they kind of look like clip-ons, but they actually have a pierced hook to them. I just thought they were pretty and unique, and they were only $1, so that's why I picked them up. I was just taking a second look at them to make sure there was no stones missing or anything. These sold for $19. Not a super big amount, but for a costume jewelry piece, I think that is just fine, and that's why I like to keep my cost of goods low on these vintage costume jewelry pieces, because they don't always or typically produce really high sale prices. So did I already say I paid $1 for these? I think this was an offer that I sent out, so I think there was discounted shipping. So after discounted shipping, my cost of goods and Posh fees, that made my profit $12.18. Not a huge profit, but a great return on a $1 investment. These did take a while to sell, to probably 6 or 8 months. But as I've said over and over again, jewelry does not take up much space. So I do not have a problem waiting for the right buyer to come along to buy it. Okay, so that is it for this week. My total sales were $655. Not my greatest week, but I will take it. My cost of goods was only $36, so that is really a great return on investment. And my total profit after Posh fees, my cost of goods, and any shipping discounts was $474.52. Less than half of my $1,000 weekly goal, but this time of year, I always have slower sales, and some resellers say they don't experience summer slowdown. I do experience it, and whether it is less people buying or me working less because I'm enjoying summer, I'm not really sure which one it is, or if it's the type of items that I sell. But that's just something that you should take into consideration. If you are part-time and looking to go full-time, you definitely want to make sure that you have a savings account for these slow months, or while you're part-time, start putting money into savings for when you go full-time. Before I went full-time, I had 2 months of pay saved, and I had a lot of inventory. I've never had a problem finding inventory, but I don't like having the clutter, but I do like having a death pile or money pile, as I call it, because when I'm not selling as much and I don't have as much cash flow to buy new items, I know that I always have items in my money pile that I can list. So if I'm short on cash, I can just list what I already have. So those are just some tips for how I do it, and I hope they're helpful for you. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoy my videos, and if you are enjoying my videos, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. I will see you guys next week.